Hold on for...
No, all right. Damn, dude, you're no
Here,
fun. You don't
here we go.
engage.
And welcome back to another episode of Culture Vulture. I'm Connor, and this, of course, is my sexual co-host and brother, which makes it better, James.
I wrote it so I can. So I smote it.
You know what's funny though
Fuck that.
is
This
every.
song's too long, man.
It's funny because every
If
time I play it, so I don't mute our mics during that whole thing,
no, I know. That's why I
and
did
then all of a
that. I
sudden
want to see if
I'm
I
looking
want to see if
down,
like our audience of 9 will write in and be like, please, just fucking do something different. Like,
but like I can hear you in the background being like, I fucking recorded this twice.
yeah, I was just like, I can't believe I. It's nice that I doubled it up for what I'm doing as a like a whole, like as a whole,
As a
but
whole.
as a record. But when it's we're getting ready to do the show, and you're like, all right, let's go, let's go, let's go, and then all of a sudden it's like as if like your luge got stuck at the Olympics, and you're like waiting. You're like, I had a boner for like 9 hours, and now it's gone. You know, so it's like it's fucking sucked. And then you go through that song. How long is it? I just didn't realize how long it was until like
124, I think.
I just it's so it works for what I'm doing. I like it here though. It's nice that you know at least you like it enough to do it.
Dude, I
So
think it's a great song.
I appreciate it. I was actually at Montauk today, and I thought I'd come back and record, but I did the drums out there though. I had time to do drums. It was pretty cool. And I came back. I just didn't feel engaged. Like I just was like, all right, I'll just do some drum stuff. But like the guitar sounded good. I just wasn't really like
Feeling writer's
just
block.
kind of no, everything's good, and I know the song. I know what I want. I just like I don't know. I don't want to sound like stupid or like I don't want to sound like I'm like some George Harrison guy, but I just didn't feel like connected. You know what I mean? Like I could play it, but I just was like, this is not the night to do it. It was so late. The show's coming up. Like, what am I gonna do? I'm not pushing the show off, and this is something that I could record whenever, not whenever, but I could record pretty often. This is something that
Yeah, I would have been here.
is
I would have been here way earlier. We went to that.
But you were at the bathhouse.
I was at the
and someone locked
bathhouse
the
and I met
doors.
Giorgio, and Giorgio says to me, "No,
Fabio. Yo, remember? Yeah,
Fabio.
Fabio. Remember that book I showed you
Icarus
from
is my
Fabio?
command." Which what was it called?
A long comma goose. It's just 3 words. A lot of people are like, is that like some like mean like Italian thing? Like, what are you doing there? And I'm like, no, it's just it's funny because it's if you say it out loud, it does sound like bad Italian. Which I think that's what Fabio is. I don't know any Italian people that are
I
like
don't even.
proud of
I
him.
wonder if
Like,
he is really Italian.
he's from Milan.
Is he?
Right? He's no Fabio Lanzoni or something. I mean, I'm not trying to. He's a model, so he's an easy target. I mean, he could have been doing something else, but he made a ton of money and got fame off of that. And I don't remember him really like breaking down the doors and going after mom, even though she like
Laura.
even though she lit candles at night.
Laura.
No, mom hated him. I'm not. Mom would be like, if she heard this, she'd be like, don't even screw. Like like I know, like you know that I hated him. Like when he got hit with the goose, mom was the first in line to laugh. Like she wasn't even concerned. I'm like, he's bleeding. She's like, he'll be fine.
He'll be
He's
fine.
always on a pirate ship with his mom would always tell us with his boobies hanging out. That's how mom told us. She's like, that guy with his boobies hanging out. We're like,
oh yeah, so yeah, I went to that fair, and then to get out, we were there for 45 minutes without moving. Because at the same time, we're trying to. It's a huge line of cars. It's like a quarter mile. Then you have side alleys that people are coming in, and then all of a sudden, Gia looks in the rearview mirror at the entrance, and she's like, "There's nobody there." And she just flips the car around and goes through the rear, like through the front entrance, and there's nobody there, no police or nothing. And it was like we literally drove 10 minutes out of the way. We come back up, and we look, and the same car that we were behind was still at the end of the line. And I was like, "You fuck!" I thought of The Simpsons though when Homer tries to back out of whatever he's in, and he calls everybody suckers, but he runs over the spikes.
yeah. Yeah. What the fuck episode is that?
I think that's the episode where Sideshow Bob went to the military base and he's trying to like detonate the bomb.
The best one's when he gets like booted, but from Officer Krapowski in the city, and they show like Woody Allen was like throwing garbage on him with the
Homer versus New York State.
Homer versus the Homer versus New York City or whatever.
Homer versus the city of New York or state of New York.
Yeah, hey, that's a great episode. That's one of my favorites. Actually, that's probably in my top 5.
That one's awesome.
Maybe top 3. Yeah. I'm checking in. Didn't they get like nominated for something?
They won an Emmy for that.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, that's just my aspirin. Hey, what do you think about the new background?
The new background.
The new overlay.
It's hot.
So
it's hot. It's raining. So it's raining in Seattle.
I think that's New York.
I think it's Seattle. That does not. What is that? New York for like red-eyed New York?
Yeah, it's supposed to be cryptic. So I want to give a shout out to the artist that I used to make this stuff. He's actually made our logo art.
And it's not Banksy this time.
No, it's Terrell Foster. You can find him at www.redbubble.com/people/snowmanzit. One word. Same thing on Instagram, snowmanzit. Fantastic artwork. He does insane jobs, and
this is
reasonably
incredible.
priced. Like he asked for one price, and I tipped him because I asked him for something, and the next day he sends me this, and he's like, "Hey, what about this?" And I was like, "Dude, fucking perfect, great."
Yeah, this is pretty cool. The sad part is, though, I want to move out of New York State at some point because this is definitely what New York State will look like in 20 years. I'll be like, it's funny. We used to joke about that. So funny. We used to joke about all that communist shit. Oh, shit. They're here. Hide back in the attic.
Get under the floorboards.
No, seriously. Oh, dude, I shouldn't. But they'll be like, check his eyes. And I'd be like, no. They're like, kill him.
Take a ruler out and start measuring.
I'm saying they're killing me. I'm not saying kill anybody. I'm saying they'll kill me. I'm playing the victim here, so that it's not. I'm afraid of that. Check. Yeah, like that could happen. That shouldn't happen. Yeah. That's some dystopian shit, dude. I love how you come up with this quick scenario, and then all of a sudden you're like, no, forget it. Yeah, no, it was too quick. That was too quick. I like built a universe and didn't realize its power. Not really on that scale, but you get the idea. You get the jizz of it.
Communist inception.
Yeah. Wait, I do have some communist medals just in case. Remember?
Oh yeah, just in case you get held up in the street by the Stasi.
Yeah, I'm like, hey,
Val.
1987, I won the shot put.
Who is the greatest leader of all time?
I was like, well, it's not Gorbachev. I'll tell you that. Gorbachev. They're like, who the fuck is Jeff? Gorby Jeff.
So as we all,
he's Canadian actually. It's Gore B Jeff. GEOFF. So he's definitely fucking Canadian.
As we all know, Queen Elizabeth died obviously last week, and the king gave his first speech and whatever. But I thought I would play a quick.
Oh yeah, Connor, you're such a sweetheart.
I thought it was a good speech. It's a quick 50s.
The House of Commons.
Of course you did. Of course you do your tribute.
I am deeply grateful for the addresses of condolence by the House of Lords and the House of Commons, which so touchingly encompass what our late sovereign, my beloved mother, the Queen, meant to us all. But I'd like to make one thing straight. Charlie's in fucking charge now, and shit's about to get fucking real. As I stand before you today, I'd like to address some of the tyrannical shit I'm going to do as king. First off, America, we're taking you back. You cunts have been free for far too long. I will not have it. Australia, you're going to become a massive fuck-off prison again. Fuck you, cunts. India, you're safe. We don't really want you back anymore.
Wow.
Also, I'm
Do we just
bringing
get
that
an
thing back
X-rating?
where, like, the king gets to fuck your wife the day you get married, if he wants to.
Oh,
That was a
dude.
cool rule. Anyway, cunts,
Come on.
adios. I'm out of here.
What's that whore?
I like how the whole time he's, you know, obviously he's cursing and shit, but Australia cunts.
Yeah, it just didn't sound like him. It just sounded like some burly guy who was at the bar and was like, "Listen, check out my accent." And another guy, another guy at the bar. I was like, "Oh, a guy at the bar was like, I'll record that. We'll make some shit." And then so that was your tribute. So I got this in the mail today. This is pretty cool. So the back of it shows that it is. Can you see that? Right.
It's a little blurry.
Yeah, well, it's a postcard and conveying sincere greetings. And look, it's from the coronation. See? Young Elizabeth, the Queen. And so, yeah, so I'm going to frame that. I got one also from 1928. So it's hers, like a 2-year, it's like a baby. I was like, all right. It was in the same thing. It was on eBay. I was like,
yeah, well, now we got fucking King Charlie.
yeah, I don't, dude, I just, see, all right, I'm old and shit. So I grew up late 80s, early 90s. Like, that's when I started watching the news. And Charles was just always fucking around. And I grew up with Charles was always like the bad guy, and Diana was just this angel, but she really wasn't. But she did a lot of good. I really respect the shit out of Diana. Like, under the scrutiny, she, like I said, I remember her holding like black children in Africa that were like, you know, HIV positive, and she wouldn't wear gloves. She would just hold them and stuff. And that was like a big gesture, you know, because everybody was afraid of that stuff. So like hardcore. So, you know, but Charles is always like just doing dumb shit. But I guess he's grown up. I mean, he's 72. It's like, you grown up yet? He's like, yeah,
He's 75.
I'm ready to be king. It's like, all right, dude.
Yeah, he's 75.
So, and then, you know, if it gets out of control, there's William with the mallet, you know, like, bonk, you know, and that'll be the end of that. Because nobody's going to rip with, like, nobody's going to really, like, vibe with Camilla. Like, Camilla's actually one of the most hated people in Britain, like, by the press, like, with Heather Mills, which Heather Mills sucks. I shouldn't say that.
It would be so awesome if they had one of those medieval. It would be so awesome if they had one of those medieval things where, like, just Harry and William slaughtering each other to get to the throne, and people are like, "What the?"
Well, Harry doesn't want that shit. He's like, I have a babe wife. I'm just gonna get the fuck out of Dodge. I don't want to like do all this shit with medals all over me, like falling over.
Yeah, that's his.
Shit.
That's
what was that?
That's his Simpson, whatever her name was.
You could be like King Richard. They find you buried in a parking lot.
In Ozone.
No, yeah, and then like Joni Mitchell would write that song about him, something, and put up a parking lot. It's about like King Richard.
Dude, speaking of Britain, so they had that fucking
Britain.
Yeah, that moron Don Lemon, whatever the fuck his name is. He was on the news with somebody. This is after.
Did you say Dong Lemming?
Dong Lemmings. No, he was like talking to some fucking British woman. I don't know.
He was talking to.
No, it was like right after.
British
It was
woman.
right after the funeral. It was right after the funeral, and he brings up the dumbest thing you can bring up. And I watched this. I was gonna send this to you, but I thought it'd be better to get your reaction on air.
Oh, you're doing this to me?
Oh,
videos?
Dude, I love doing this to you.
Oh, all right.
Those who are asking for reparations for colonialism, and they're wondering, you know, $100 billion, $24 billion here and there, 500 million there. Some people want to be paid back, and members of the public are wondering, why are we suffering when you are, you know, you have all of this vast wealth? Those are legitimate concerns.
Well, I think you're right about reparations in terms of if people want it, though, what they need to do is you always need to go back to the beginning of a supply chain. Where was the beginning of the supply chain? that was in Africa. And when across the entire world, when the slavery was taking place, which was the first nation in the world that abolished slavery? The first nation in the world to abolish it. It was started by William Wilberforce, was the British. In Great Britain, they abolished slavery. 2,000 naval men died on the high seas trying to stop slavery. Why? Because the African kings were rounding up their own people. They had them on cages waiting in the beaches. No one was running into Africa to get them. And I think you're totally right. If reparations need to be paid, we need to go right back to the beginning of that supply chain and say who was rounding up their own people and having them handcuffed in cages.
Somebody
Well,
got
I mean,
somebody got
I
rid
mean,
of somebody got rid of the end.
I didn't need the Hulk Hogan tear up, but
Somebody got rid of the
sounds-
end though, and at the end she like stops talking. He goes, "Interesting topic." Like that's all he can muster up because it's like, well,
yeah, if it's true, I mean, listen, but that doesn't exonerate anybody like
No,
from having
absolutely
slaves
not.
and stuff like that. But you know, that will be something added to the great debate of reparations. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, look, I've had both sides of it. I mean, like, listen, I mean, I like I told you, I have a client. I talked to him. And he's like, every time, you know, he takes care of his mother and stuff. And she's 96. He's like, every time I touch my mother's hand, she touched her grandmother's hand and she was born a slave. And I was like, he's like, dude, I'm like, that's how close I am to it. And I'm like, and I'm talking to you. And I really sat there with him. And I didn't say shit for like a minute. Like we just sat there like quiet. I was like, I never even thought of it like that. And to this day, that story is like right there. So yeah, I just think reparations would be such a messy thing that doesn't mean that I'm saying, no, you can't give black people anything or any money. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that, like, by the way that this country has been spending and just like throwing shit around.
108 billion to Ukraine or something like that as of last week.
What happened?
Like $100 billion to Ukraine in the last week.
I know, but
when it comes to the whole reparations thing, I kind of just say it's not my argument. Like I don't have a say.
It's just that was an interesting video because I think that, you know, Don Lemon does have the right to propose something like that.
At a
because I'm not
funeral,
I'm not
though?
on his. I'm not. Listen, I'm not black. I'm just gonna say it like that. So I don't have that argument. I can't. So that's his thing. That's the way he feels. But when she spoke, she said something that was like right up there with what he said. It made me think. You know, made him think. Because if you know how he is. He doesn't back down from anybody. So, I mean, he stood up to her by, you know, proposing that question in the first place, and she gave him a pretty good helping of, if that is the truth, I mean, then that's a pretty good argument.
Yeah, well, coming from a long line of, well, not even a long line of immigrants. I mean, what are we, third generation, right?
Well, our great grandparents came over
from both sides at the same time.
From Ireland,
and then
1928.
Yeah, and then mom's side was here in 1917.
Something like that.
Whenever the Cossacks ran through Hungary and Yugoslavia.
It's always like big. Why is it always big world events in family, dude? You know what I mean? Like our great grandfather had to come over here because of like the Ireland thing with like Britain.
Yeah, he had.
I won't go into it.
Well, yeah, he had a holiday over there, and the holiday was there's a lot of fireworks, and you know sometimes you gotta leave. He did the Irish goodbye. The British were like, "Where are you going?" He's like, "Over there, real quick."
Because I always thought about it. I was like, why would he just come over here on a whim? He's older and he speaks Gaelic. Like, he's a skilled guy. I mean, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, as I got older and like heard things, I was like, oh.
Yeah, I was like, oh, shoot, motherfucker.
I mean, he was a great guy. What he did is noble. I mean, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, I totally support that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I do.
Yeah,
I always
I'm proud
have.
of it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking turn away from that part of our family. That's great. That's a beautiful thing. That's the way it should have been. I just stopped supporting the IRA when they started really getting into drugs and they were car bombing people.
Well, I have a buddy. I never confirmed I never confirmed he was IRA, but I mean, he definitely fought back against like British oppression.
I think Nanny's parents might have been part of Provies. In the
I mean, we
20s.
we had family executed from.
Yep. But yeah, I just stopped supporting the whole IRA.
But that was in like the 20s though, so it's not like oh guys in the 70s, you know, my uncle
during the Troubles. No, but
these are ancestors. I mean, I think he died when I was like 4. So I
have two friends that are from
I'm just named after him. That's all.
I have two friends that are from I don't know if they're from Dublin or not, but when they were on their way to elementary school with their cousin, a car bomb went off and killed the cousin.
Yeah, no.
So I don't like the whole killing of the fucking innocent shit just to send a message.
The IRA got really wild, dude. They got
70s
wild,
too.
man. Like it just still gets a little like every so often there's like an assassination. Like it's not safe there. If you're like a person in power out there.
Oh,
like,
I don't even like the whole fucking 1979 the Lord Mountbatten thing because they killed his family. Yeah, and that's fucked up. You don't kill him, just don't kill his family. Blow his fucking boat up.
That was like real. It was like related to him. Yeah, I worked for someone. I worked for someone that was like direct related to him. So, and I think he was killed in 79, right? So he was in that, that Hollywood silent documentary that I showed you.
Yeah, the one.
Yeah,
with,
he's in it. He's like Lord Mountbatten. I'm an uncultured swine. Yeah. I can't say his name, but he's supposedly in there talking about silent pictures. I'm like, is he in there because he fucked the actresses? Because I don't know. He wasn't in anything. He's like, oh, I was actually. I was in plenty of features. I'm like, oh, you gross dude.
He was born in 1900. I don't think he would have. I'm looking now. I don't see anything about him being in pictures or anything. It just says television appearances, and it's 77 went on his 70th birthday or 77th birthday. So
he's not in Hollywood. Hollywood.
No, he probably fucks socialites.
No, Silent Hollywood. I think he's in that Kevin Brownlow documentary from 1980 from Thames. This is some major shit. It's on Thames. It's from Thames, bro. I mean, if you were like in London in 1980, you would be like, "Oh yeah, right, yeah," but you don't know.
Well, now I'm looking it up.
Yeah, you should, man. And I will sit here.
Nice and Friendly is a 19. All right, so 1922. Nice and Friendly is a film by Charlie Chaplin, and it was made for Lord and Lady Mountbatten.
Legit. So he knew Chaplin, and Chaplin had died by Christmas.
Chaplin visited him in 1966. Chaplin visited him in 1966. He also was in Hollywood, the British TV series you were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were. I'm not saying you were wrong, but I was just trying to see if he had any. I was trying to see if he had any credits from that. I was trying to see if he actually had any credits as like a producer or something. Like, hey, fucking.
No, but that series actually made me emotional when I watched it. It's because I knew some of the people that worked with those people. You know what I mean? Like a lot of those silent people were gone. I don't think I talked. Maybe Beverly Roberts is in it. I'm not too sure, but I don't know if I know anybody that was in that movie, but I knew people that worked directly with them. You know what I mean? So it was like to hear them tell some of the stories and some of the heartbreaking, like real life stories that went on. And like people that knew Valentino, because this thing was filmed between like 78, 79, 80. And it's just, it gets these people before they're gone, you know? So some of them are like, they live to be 100. Some of them live to be like 95, 96. And they're in their 80s, early 90s, and they're doing this thing. And it's incredible to have people from the very beginning of Hollywood. I mean, if you ever were into like silent films or the early history of Hollywood, that would be Kevin Brownlow would be like the guy to go to for like information for that shit. So, but it's incredible. And he redid the music for it. So to make it more theatrical and to bring it up to like date, but it still sounds beautiful. It's just very lush orchestral music. So I recommend it. Whatever.
Sorry, I keep looking down. I have this cat I rescued on my lap, and he's just like going nuts right now.
Oh, is that the cat on your lap trick?
No, so
yeah, I'm just petting my cat.
So there's fucking. I'm in CVS the other day.
Come on, your voice is changing. I know you're whack.
No, I'm in CVS the other day, and I go to walk out. This lady goes, "There's a fucking cat stuck in the red box," and I was like, "No." And I go over there, and sure enough, there's a cat stuck in the red box. So I laid down on the ground to grab him. Like I had to stick my arm in it. I almost got stuck by a syringe, which would have been awesome. And then
what?
Yeah, there was a. I think that's why the lady was really back there.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, you moved the screen.
So the fucking, I go back there and I see this. I see his like fucking tail. And I'm like, I'm gonna yank him by his tail. Like this is the only way I'm getting him out. I yank him by his tail. He goes to swipe. He's little and he runs off. And I'm like, all right, well he's out. And then I'm like, all right, I can't leave him in the parking lot because nobody pays attention in Scranton. It's just like all
He's
people.
tiny too, man.
It's all people who eat squirrel and their fucking brains aren't fully developed. So
you still have to live in the town you just smashed, right?
yeah, I don't give a shit.
Wait, smash is a sexual term, bro, right? You just
Yeah.
bashed. Sorry,
dude. Fuck them. So I find him under a pile of garbage. I get him out again. He goes to bite, jumps free. He ends up under someone's car, and I'm like, fuck, man. Like, come on, dude. So I have to lay under their car, and I'm like, now G comes down because I call her. I'm like, hey, I'm trying to like save this cat from being hit by a car. Can you stand over me so nobody thinks I'm siphoning gas or some shit? So I'm under this fucking car, and this lady comes out and she goes, what are you doing under my car? And I was like, there's a cat. And I end up rescuing the cat. I end up getting him out. And then I looked at him and I was like, dude, I can't even fucking like, I can't let you go. Like, if I let you go, you're just going to get killed. So I ended up bringing him home. And for 2 nights, I kept him in a separate room from the other cats. He tried biting and hissing. And then finally I was like, all right.
that's the kind of lover I like.
Yeah, like, uncles. But then I'm like, all right, I'm going to fucking bring him out and I'm just going to reach my head in there and pet him. And I guess because he's so little and he's never had human contact, he hated it at first, but now I can't get him, like, he's too attached. And he's so...
You're like a cult leader, you mother.
I am, dude.
You get these cats to like worship you, and then they have to... You build them with their own weird personalities. You have a Russian blue that is like the most fucked up, like spiteful human being thing.
Nah,
that
dude,
I've
he's
ever
awesome.
seen.
Lenny's awesome.
He's awesome, but like he's driving you nuts all the time. Like it's not
It's not that he's driving me nuts.
Not,
he just like he likes
not Russian blue wash this.
He likes to fucking crawl between your legs when you're walking like an idiot, like an invalid. And then I have the other cat who's a girl, and she's the sweetest thing ever. But this guy's just he's never had.
She was a nut too back in the day.
Yeah, this guy's never had human contact, and now he's finally getting it, and he's just happy.
Yeah, so you remember you had him locked in the trunk for like 6. Well, it wasn't your fault. I'll tell the story. Connor
Shut the fuck up.
This cat. Connor got this cat, Lenny. So Lenny's cool. He got him in Brooklyn. He won him at a carnival. So Connor brought him home, and it was like pretty cool. So Connor's like, I can't really keep a cat though. Like I'm going away to college, and I'm like, where are you going? He's like, Santa Monica. I was like, that's right. I was always like high all the time, drinking. It's no good. This is like 1978. Anyway, so Connor puts the cat in a trunk and is like, when I go up to Santa Monica, I'm going to get a friend, and give the cat away. So I was like, all right, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Why are you telling me this? He's like, yeah. So he goes up in the attic, whatever, comes out. He leaves. 6 years later, he comes back with a PhD in, what was it? I don't even remember. It doesn't matter. So, and then he went upstairs, looked in the trunk, and the cat was like this big. Show him Lenny. Lenny's pretty fucking big.
He's somewhere else. You're an idiot.
He's like the size of a fucking toaster.
No, Lenny I got as a baby. Lenny I got from his...
And then you left him in that trunk for 6 years with all the food, and you managed to eat the cans.
No.
So he has like really sharp teeth. So when he nips you, like you have to go to the hospital. It's fucked up.
No, I would never do that. I love cats too. I like animals too much. I like animals more than I like people.
No, you have to go to the hospital because he hurts you with his teeth. What do you would never do that. He should never do
Shut
that.
the fuck up. You're such a fucking retard.
All right, well, I'm tired of you calling me at 4 a.m. Fucking cat, I have tattoos, man.
I've never called you at 4 a.m. saying he's never bit me. He's the friendliest cat in the world. He jumps up on my chest and he wants to fucking cuddle all the time. He's cool. He's just a pain in the ass when you go to walk to the kitchen and he jumps between your legs like fucking Neo.
Neo? Like the rapper?
Yeah, of course. What do you think? I was mentioning that fucking stupid movie, The Matrix? Bullshit. Everybody knows that Neo the rapper walks between people's legs. Midget.
I don't even know anything about
Dude, I don't know anything about him. I'm just fucking talking shit. But yeah, no.
I just knew when somebody said, hey, you want to listen to Neo? I was like, wait, what? And they're like, Neo. I was like, no.
You're such a jackass. You put the cat in the trunk for 6 years? You're such a piece of shit.
Oh, are you pissed that I told people your story? Or
no. No,
It's
you
not
know,
abuse. The cat lived. I mean, it's not like you did it on purpose, and you left food in the trunk. It's not like, and it was fancy feast, bro. You went to Walmart, and, like, blew total fucking quit on that shit.
do you know how many cans it would be for 6 years?
Yeah, and do you know how many cans you like badgered that woman to get off the top shelf? Remember that shit? You were so mean to her. Oh man,
You're an idiot.
I know. You're like, my shirt's glittery. It's kind of
Yeah,
fucking up the camera.
Yeah, it's fucking up my eyes. I have you on full screen and it's fucking me up.
Yeah, it even tattooed me.
It mushroom stamped you?
Oh yeah, hold on, dude. Nah, I'm good. Imagine that. It's like, I'm like, dude, why am I not allowed on YouTube? And you're like, yeah, I don't know, asshole. And I'm like, what happened? Got us banned with your bird.
With your
Did
bird.
happen?
Hey, James.
Yeah.
Did you hear the solution for subway trouble in New York City? I thought you would like this because you talk about how great New York is all the time, how it's your favorite place.
Today, Governor Hochul and MTA leaders unveiled a new initiative they hope will stop the bad guys in their tracks, or at the very least, convince them to think twice.
MTA says it plans to install security cameras on every single subway car in the entire fleet. CBS 2's Marsha Kramer here now with how all of this is going to work. Marsha.
Thank God they're installing security cameras with their harsh bail penalties. This should be great.
Listen, Jessica, you might call this the MTA's Smile You're on Candid Camera offensive.
What the fuck is with this lady?
Don't.
My God.
I know. I don't know what her.
Every subway car.
I don't know what her deal is.
Every single line will have security cameras to record crime on the subway.
Dude, anytime like I see Daddy's watching this shit, it's on repeat. They play it like on a track like channel 12 now. Oh my, it's so unprofessional.
We'll have security cameras to record crime on the subways, and it's not a minute too soon.
Do you think Big Brother's watching you on the subways?
Ooh, that's weird.
You're absolutely right.
Tough talk from Governor.
She's like a moth.
That was a really weird thing she just said.
You on the subways?
We went back.
Yeah, Big Brother. Yeah.
Do you think Big Brother's watching you on the subways? You're absolutely.
She does look like a fucking moth, by the way. I call her a gremlin. Like, if you fed her after midnight, you are
She
fucked.
totally would. I could see it now up close. Like, yeah, that would give Godzilla a fight. Is that Mothra? Oh, no, that's Dwight Yoakam.
By the
Governor
way,
Dwight Yoakam.
she's not the governor. She's the unelected governor. Because the
I don't
other
care.
governor,
I didn't care about it.
the other governor was a fucking idiot. He was telling women, I like to reach up blouses.
Right.
Yeah.
Tough talk from Governor Hochul on subway crime as she and MTA Chairman Jano Lieber strode into an MTA maintenance yard to inspect the first security cameras being installed on the MTA fleet. Ironically, the announcement came just hours after a 45-year-old man was stabbed on a southbound number 2 train heading to Winthrop Station in the Prospect Lefferts Gardens neighborhood. But as they tried to get some reluctant riders to return to subways, officials argued that crime this year is down 4.6% compared to 2019. The year
Her
before
voice
the
is killing me,
pandemic,
dude.
I know.
ridership was about 5.5 million.
Like, it's not her fault.
But the assertion that
Please.
crime is down was
Like,
challenged by
please,
reporters,
dude.
pointing out that NYPD
Yo,
statistics
she's
show
so
crime
smaller.
is up
That man
nearly
is so tall.
46% since January 1st, 1,618 incidents compared to 1,110 last year when ridership was 2.3 million.
We're no way suggesting we're out of the woods, but in fairness
Bro, he
to the
looks
public,
like
we gotta
he looks
keep
like the fucking Mad Magazine. Like what's his name? Alfred?
Alfred E. Newman.
That's what he
Posted
looks like.
Hold on, no. Keep it there. Like if Cotton Hill was young.
God damn it, Hank, I'm here to tell you this.
And he sounds like him, right? It's Cotton Hill.
What is
It's
wrong with
young
these
Cotton
people?
Hill. He's a goober. He looks like a goober. It's just he's got big ears, dude. Don't be too cruel. I mean, come on. I got big ears. They're just under these muffs. But
is a matter.
he's just a dude, man. Let him say what he's got to say. What is he doing? It's better than this.
Oh, you don't like that lady?
Bugs. Make fun of my voice again.
It would
I'll
be
give you a thumping.
it'd be great to hear during sex. Please put it in me.
Of real concern.
You better make
So
me
here are the
come.
numbers. 6,455 subway cars will each have 2 cameras. That
Dude, she looks like
Oh.
look. Oh, that's a great freeze
Oh.
frame. She looks like Lon Chaney. She looks like Lon Chaney where they pull the mask off in fucking a Phantom of the Opera.
Whoa. No. I don't know, man. I just feel I don't want to listen to her voice. That shot's terrible. That's just
that's the greatest.
Framed, right?
That is the greatest freeze frame we're ever gonna fucking have.
Can you play freeze frame on this? Like the song. Who did that? Who did freeze frame? Is it like Squeeze or something? Who the fuck?
Oh, I have no idea.
Come on, like who did it? Who did it? We can't. We're not allowed to play it though, right?
No. We'll get fucking.
By good taste, we'll get punished by good taste. That song sucks. Forget it. Don't look it up. I'm actually using my phone.
Jay Giles Band.
So. Jay Giles Band? No.
Yes, 1981.
Sometimes when I feel like having respect for the Jay Giles Band, then I'll be reminded of that, and that will definitely put some fucking rain on that parade. You know?
The Gay Giles Band.
They did Angel as a Centerfold, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I hate that fucking song.
Everybody hates that fucking song.
That song's on every fucking radio station. I'm cursing so much. I should stop this public. But
let's see what.
Dude, that song's everywhere. That song is everywhere, and you know it. You hear it everywhere.
Let's see what launch.
You can't get into some dirtbag's pickup truck without that shit being on that radio. Some shitty white dude's pickup truck, and you know it. It's either that or Nickelback.
Ew.
That's all you hear, dude. Billy Joel, Nickelback, and fucking Angel is a Centerfold. That's all they play on Long Island radio. That's why nobody listens to Long Island radio. That's why you're all going to your radios right now to see if I'm fucking right and finding Angel is a Centerfold and being like, that motherfucker's right. But I'll wait for the Billy Joel because then you can't get enough, right? Fucks.
Let's hear what fucking Lon Chaney has to say.
These 12,000 cameras will have their eye on you.
If you prey on New Yorkers or you commit vandalism or damage MTA facilities, we're going to have pictures of you. And the NYPD is going to find you, going to catch you, and going to punish you.
And then release you without bail. And then they're going to offer you MTA gift cards to go to, to come into court cases. Okay.
Nope, I'll just go back to North Carolina until the fucking heat is gone.
When they walked into a car that had already been outfitted with the camera.
I think it's a great idea. Because we,
that guy fucks.
On the subway that they can't police.
Have you ever felt unsafe on
the
subway?
Wait, what?
Yes.
That guy fucks.
That's what you get from that?
Yeah, look at him. That dude in the 80s was doing blow off his friend's penis. That dude fucks.
He looks like a Caucasian Diglett.
That was good. That was good.
You know what I mean? Like he just
looks like an older. He looks like an older fucking.
She was probably like you. I have such a different all walks of life. Excuse me, Mr. T-shirt. And then all of a sudden his head came out like hello. And then she was like, "What the fuck?" And then he was just there. And he's got those sunglasses. He's got those kind of old man Ray-Bans on. You know the ones that you can get at 4 o'clock in the morning, and they claim that they make everything look correct, like the colors.
Dude, he looks like Thomas Lennon.
Right.
He looks like Thomas Lennon, the guy from Reno 911. Just older. Oh my god, look at that fucking face. Yeah, he fucks, man. Hair lip over here.
Can you recall what it was?
Yeah, there was a guy that was verbally attacking everybody, and he came right up to me in my face.
I'm the two minds.
Wait.
What is going on with fucking Crescent Moon over here?
Wait, stop. And that will get... Oh, my God, Cruella DeVille. Oh, my God. Shit, dude.
You know, the freeze frame makes it look like she just devised an evil plan.
Stop. First of all, you know where I work. So let's not. I just saw that. No. Because I don't want to go into that. We'll talk about that later. That's too close for comfort. Let's not comment on that person. But go back. Don't even go back. Did you hear what that guy said?
That people were screaming in his face.
Somebody was verbally attacking.
Yeah, but that's how pussified they got in New York.
And he's screaming in my face. Like it's like he had to show the reporter how far the other person was. No, I'm just glad we have cameras.
Dude,
somebody was screaming in your fucking face.
That is exactly how completely pussified this country has become seriously,
I mean,
oh my
I remember
God,
one time a
they
guy
screamed in my
face, and
Mm.
he told me to shut the fuck up, and then he went to go grab my throat, and I punched him in his. No, he went to grab my shirt, and I punched him in his throat. But then he ended up having a bad shit that wasn't good, right? No, but like, dude, what the? He's screaming like, but the fact that he had the audacity to tell that story.
Yeah, I know. It made him look like a fucking sissy. He doesn't fuck. I take it back. He gets cucked. He doesn't fuck. He cucks.
No. Like, because we don't listen. You're pulling like these are people on the streets. So
I don't give a flying fuck who they are.
But I do in a way.
I never
I just
do.
don't understand him. But he's older. Like he's probably our father's age, and you're that.
Do you remember what happened? There was a man. He was farting on the train, and he farted this close to me.
Somebody, he didn't even say some guy or anything. He's like, somebody came up to me and they were like yelling, and I'm like, so did you tell them to shut the fuck up, or did you just sit there and take it? Which now you're bitching to me about it? Like, bitch to the person who did it. I'm on TV. I hit them with the mic.
Why is this story breaking now? When this was a story that broke 3 months ago on another channel. Like, are they just catching up to other channels? I don't know. CBS is fucking terrible anyway.
It's important, but so is safety. So maybe it's a draw.
I don't know if it'll make me feel safer, but if something were to happen, at least there'll be some kind of evidence.
It's a good idea. There's been a lot of violence happening recently in the train
Fucking
station,
Reggie
so
Watts.
That makes sense.
No. That guy does look like You ever see Zootopia?
No, I can't watch any of that shit.
Well, I with the kids around, that the Tommy Chong plays like a he plays, what does he play, like a wildebeest or something in like a nude
No, that's just Tommy
spa
Chong
or something, and it just looks like that character, like if it was in human form. But that guy probably plays some like rad bongos or some shit,
dude,
and probably cooks like crepes and shit, like nobody's business.
He looks like fucking. He looks like Marv when he gets shocked. He looks like Marv when he's getting shocked.
I'm kind of jealous that he's like not here. He would probably be like, "Hey man," he would just unlock shit. Dude, his name is Zuriel Infante. You don't walk around
That's not
like
real.
that without the power.
That's not fucking. What is he? A fucking Norse
that's
god
confidence.
or fucking something?
No, that's look at how his chain like falls like right at his shirt. He like knows his shit. This guy like got up this morning on his A game.
That guy got up this morning in the same clothes he went.
What does he have to say anyway? But he's like, maybe it is a draw. So let's see if he like has some insight.
There's been a lot of violence happening recently in the train station, so it makes sense.
Well, city council officials praised the move, but the New York Civil Liberties
saved it
Union
for something
questioned
else.
the need for more surveillance cameras in New York City, saying, quote,
Her dentures are
living in
fucking
a sweeping
terrible.
surveillance state shouldn't be the price we
All
pay
right,
to
all
be
right,
safe.
turn it off.
Now, it could take
Turn
as
it
long
off,
as 3 years.
Turn it off.
Turn it off before you start fucking beating.
I don't think I'd go that route.
Everybody's saying
Dude, stop, man.
We're all just sitting here.
No, there's one guy on the news. I won't say who. And if I have to show people like a sound clip from the station that he's on, it's like a big station and they break big stories, whatever. So this guy, like something happened to him and his voice is awful. And I always end up getting like replies of like, yeah, I get it. That's cool. But what the fuck is up with the reporter? And it's like,
I had a stroke.
That's what I'm thinking. But like, and I did go and Google it. I was like, did this guy, and there's no real mention. It's just like, but it got worse. Like I heard him like a week ago. Somebody left the radio on in a car, and I was just like, he sounds worse. And I'm like, so that's why I don't want to say anything who it is. But yeah, it sucks.
Speaking of strokes, I'm gonna pull this. I'm only gonna show the frame. I'm not gonna get into the video.
What is this?
This is.
Yeah, let me know what this is. You're bombarding me with like shit that I have no idea.
Well,
like, you're just like,
this concerns me more than you, because this is John Fetterman, who is running for Senate of Pennsylvania against Dr. Oz, who is not a Republican in any way. He just put his name on the Republican ballot. There's nothing Republican about him.
Now that is slick politician work.
This dude was the mayor of Braddock or something like that in Pennsylvania. By the way, never had a job. Never had a job.
But he was the mayor. He never had a job, but he was the mayor of fucking Brad's Cock.
Brad's Cock. He was.
That's
he was also
right.
the sheriff and the warden. Where's a hoodie?
Did I just hear Brad's Cock?
Wears a hoodie because he thinks that everybody thinks he's like this homegrown dude. He wears a hoodie because he's got this huge fucking lump on the back of his head that he tries to cover up. He also had a stroke last month too.
I thought that somebody had brought. This is Jack Kevorkian coming out of the grave, and people are cheering him because they hope to someday be
euthanized,
a part of his machinery. See the bunting? That's Kevorkian style.
Anyway, this fucking moron over here is running for Senate out here, which sucks because either way, I'm either stuck with him or I'm stuck with Oz, and that just fucking sucks.
But at least when you get your senator's, was it senator or whatever?
Yeah.
Whatever autograph, you know, you could eBay it and it'll be worth something because Dr. Oz wears scrubs on TV. You know, I find scrubs 90% of the time are fucking worn when they don't really need to be.
Yeah, okay. But yeah, so this fucking moron had a stroke about a month ago or 2 months ago. He hasn't given a speech since. He finally started giving speeches and public appearances, and he can't talk. But he also, I think the videos from a year ago. Yeah, my cats are trying hard to get in here. Videos from like a year ago or last week. There's like two conflicting stories, but he gave a speech and he was like, "I believe that all second-degree murders should not get life in prison. They should be released." And it's like,
come on, Connor. What's the name of this episode? Let the good times roll.
Some heads are gonna roll.
Yeah.
It's about getting head from Dr. Oz.
From Ozzie Smith?
From Ozzy Osbourne?
No. Ozzy Osbourne is dude, do you see the pictures of him now? He's all like smooth face. He's like all porcelain now looking. Looks like a toilet with eyes.
From the Brave Little Toaster. All right, come here, man.
Yeah. I come over here and shit in my mouth. They're like, we should get away from him. Yeah, he's a pussy.
But yeah,
it was that John Lovitz is the
John
radio, right?
Lovitz. I'm John Lovitz. I'm here to make love to you. Phil Hartman's in that movie. Hey, Phil Hartman's in that movie too.
Phil Hartman's the fucking man.
Phil Hartman is one of the greatest SNL cast members to come out of all time.
Yeah.
I don't mean Terry Sweeney come out either. I mean like
Is Terry Sweeney do anything? Does he work? He's got it.
He's a producer and a writer.
Is he really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's had a pretty good career apparently. But yeah,
he was the first like openly gay cast. He didn't hide that shit.
Yeah.
That's pretty brave for like 1985.
Mm-hmm. He's
84, 85?
85. Might even be 83 because I think Eddie Murphy was still on.
82 then, something like that.
But yeah, but either way, man, like this whole thing with this.
He was all right. Sweeney's okay. But you know, he could do like really effeminate characters for the time that were funny, but now would be like
he did Nancy Reagan, right? He did Nancy Reagan.
Yeah, but that's not a gay man. Is it? No, it's not.
But yeah, as I was saying, dude, either way, like between this whole fucking thing with Oz and Fetterman, I know it doesn't affect you, but Pennsylvania's just fucked. It's either you have some dude who just decided to hop on a ballot and he knew he wasn't going to get support from the right, so he automatically backed Trump. And then people were like, "Wow, this is my fucking guy." And then you have this fucking other guy who didn't have a job until he was 50. He lived with his parents, and his parents gave him an allowance, and his dad helped him become mayor of some piece of shit town. And now he's like,
Brad's Cock.
Yeah, and by the way, when he was whatever, he literally like they said he only showed up to 33% of the meetings. His entire career, like any meeting, like how is this guy able to fucking run? He talks about he has a speech where he talks about
Oz has to be winning, right?
No. No, because it came out that Dr. Oz lives in New Jersey and he's using his mother-in-law's or his mother-in-law's mailing address so that he can run here.
Listen, there's no way that Oz is going to be a conservative Republican or a Republican and then keep a TV job on a liberal network. Anybody that thinks he's really going to do anything Republican his money is tied up. His legacy is tied up in being a TV doctor. Now, what is he going to do? Go and be a politician? He's going to half-ass it. I don't know what he's doing. He's never had any political aspirations. I mean, for whatever he does on his show, great.
He just talks about like tonsil stones.
But look, I'm not trying to like piss you off or anybody else off. After like this shit with like Trump, like whatever, even if you liked him or you didn't, but with all the crazy shit that went on, like, can we just like agree that let's just stop taking people off fucking TV and putting them in like positions where this is why influencers have so much power over like society, because we're electing popular people. It's almost like if Jennifer Aniston ran, she'd fucking get like 40% just by fucking showing up. Yeah. Now, I don't get me wrong, I respect Jennifer Aniston, but she doesn't need to be fucking running for office. She's like, what are you doing? Like with Reagan was the Screen Actor Guild president like twice and was the governor of California. And then, went into the presidency. But like, what the fuck, man? Like, you have like no office. Let's give this guy a shot at the top. That's a little weird. So you're very conservative on that.
I'm very conservative, but what I don't do is I don't vote, because I take the George Carlin stance on it, where if you vote, you have no right to complain because you voted. But if you don't vote, then you have all the right in the world to complain because you had no say in anything. I just don't vote because at the end of the day, it doesn't really fucking matter. Everybody knows that. Like, it doesn't matter left or right. I am so fucking sick of seeing these fucking lawn signs everywhere, bumper sticker. I'm even sick of seeing the fuck Joe Biden things, like, sometimes, because it's just like, conservatives hated it when you saw the fuck Trump flags, and now it's like, well, you're doing the same thing. So you have to take that moral lane that you believe in, and you have to stick with it all the way through. You have to be consistent.
Here's how I see it, man. It's just like, if you have like a "Let's Go Brandon" sticker on your car, right? I could, even if I agreed with you saying that, like the fact that you would take something so childish and stick it to a vehicle that costs thousands of dollars, to me tells me that you're probably not somebody that I want to talk to. I'm just saying.
And again,
those are people that I avoid. I don't that whole anything, those extreme bumper stickers, that's when you're like, somebody is just, if they're even a Christian, sometimes like you got to be careful. You know what I mean? Like that's when people, because they're driving and they're telling strangers like, honk if you're horny, go fuck yourself. Like, if you could read this, back off, whatever it is, baby on board, baby up in this bitch, whatever you want to write, but like put up there. But dude, when you're just like, let's go Brandon, or like just, it's probably on the back of a pickup truck, and you're probably Caucasian, and you're probably a small wiener, and it's like, you could have dualies and you could blow black smoke out of your pipes and shit, but you still have
like at the end of the day, I don't like Biden. I feel bad for him because he's like a feeble old fucking retard, and he just mumbles and walks around stage, and he doesn't know what he's doing. I don't think he's running the country. I really don't. However, like, for the people who hated all the fuck Trump stickers, you also have to hate the other side too. You have to pick one. Well, I believe you have to pick one. Yeah, you have to pick. My personal belief is, if you're gonna have,
I fucking hate bumper stickers.
Yeah, I've always hated bumper stickers. Oh, dude,
I don't care if your car went up Mount Washington. I hope it stays up there.
I hate this fucking Salt Life stickers, especially when you see them in the Midwest, and you're like, really? What fucking ocean, cocksucker?
I go to Pennsylvania. It's like Salt Life. I'm like, what? Like, what are you, like a fucking elk? Like, you fucking lick salt? Like, what's salt, you fucking ass? You go in the water, it's fresh.
But like, yeah.
Oh, sometimes it feels brackish. Shut the fuck up.
But yeah, but the whole thing
brackish life. You should have brackish life. Fucking bumper stickers.
But like, with the whole thing with, like, especially the bumper stickers, my whole thing in life is, if you're gonna have some sort of, what you consider to be like your morality, I guess, but you have to be consistent. You have to be. It's like with Ben Shapiro. Ben Shapiro will sit there and he'll rip on one celebrity forever. He'll be like, this guy is a fucking retard. And then the dude will be like, well, I don't like Nancy Pelosi. And he's like, oh my God, he is a genius. And it's like, no, you don't
like Ben Shapiro, do you?
You know what it is?
I don't mind Ben Shapiro, even though I don't agree with a lot of what he says.
I used to not mind him. I used to not mind him until I really started reading the title, like just parts of his articles.
First of all,
he'll make fun of, for years he made fun of how Kanye West was retarded. And then Kanye West was like, I'm a Republican. He's like, this dude is a genius, and it's like, well, no, he's not. He's a fucking idiot, and you just fell into like.
I like. Ben
is he smart?
I don't
super fucking smart.
I respect. All right, it's not that I like Ben Shapiro. I respect Ben Shapiro, and my take on it is different from yours. I see a man of conviction, a man of faith. He's Jewish, and so Jewish people take a lot of shit. This guy's brave, dude. I think Ben Shapiro, he's a libertarian, which is kind of where I lean. I'm more for that. He's a little too uptight, I think, for me. I think he's too strict, where I think he's pretty conservative. That's where I differ with him. I think he's just like, he's like, even marijuana at all. Like, if it was up to him, he would not even. I don't think he would do it medicinally either.
Well, I've never smoked marijuana. I don't like marijuana, but if it has medicinal purposes and it's not hurting anybody, like drinking and driving, dude, I'm all for fucking smoke.
Yeah.
I have the libertarian views in that way. I just can't agree with everything the Libertarian Party says. Same thing with like, as much as conservative I am, sometimes there's things they do I just don't like. But the Libertarian Party, where they're like, nah, dude, open borders. We shouldn't have borders. And it's like,
I said this to somebody before, man. This is just how I view it. And they looked at me like, yeah, I guess you're right. You know, because you're either one or the other, right? Or maybe you're not. But Democrats, like liberals, pander to minorities. They don't want, like, they just keep them in the voting. They keep them to vote for them. And it, like, seriously, they will keep them like at like poverty level, like lower middle class, never get anywhere. And these are the people that will put like shitty fast food restaurants in low income neighborhoods, which leads to diabetes and like heart disease and shit like that, not helping at all. And then for me, I think a lot of conservatives just don't want minorities in their neighborhoods, which is wrong as well. And it's just like they don't you know, I don't think conservatives are like just violent like that, but I think that not all, I think a lot of conservatives, their problem is when both have a problem. In my opinion, I think that they don't want them around.
Oh, look at the whole Martha Vineyard
I think
thing.
one side manipulates, and I think the other side just doesn't want them in their neighborhoods. They want to kind of keep them out of like the nicest spots. You know what I mean? Like, come on, you go to the nicest neighborhoods, you know that a black guy's not going to have like the nicest house there, no matter how hard he works. You know what I mean? It's just like, it's just difficult. It's harder. It's fucked up. I'm telling you, man. It's the truth. It's the truth.
But I think the failing thing with the Conservative Party right now is the fact that they're reaching out to like Blair White.
I don't even know who these people
Blair
are.
White.
I live mainly paying attention to that shit free. I just use common sense, or I just go with my heart on this stuff, man.
To put it lightly,
I don't even know who Blair.
To put it lightly, Blair White was born a man.
Okay.
Blair White transitioned to a female and then said one conservative talking point, and fucking TPUSA and shit were like parading her around, whatever. I don't know what he identifies as. And it's like, but
what
you guys
is their
are
message?
Dude, I've never paid attention. The only thing that pissed me off, it's like, well, you can't have one message, and then when somebody from the other side who you hate agrees with you, you can't just parade that person around and be like, oh, this is the fucking.
But if a conservative person who truly believes that they are a woman, right? Let's just say like this person has total conviction, like thought about it, went to therapy, went everywhere, was like, this is a big deal. And then realized I'm a woman, I'm doing that. But they're like, I also have conservative views. I mean, doesn't like Caitlyn Jenner have pretty Republican conservative views sometimes?
She's kind of a rhino. She's Republican in name only because she wanted to run against Gavin Newstead. She also killed somebody, so there's that.
I don't think that has to do with the politics.
No, the politics thing is she has.
No, that's like a gut punch. I'm just saying that like their views. Punches. I'm saying Caitlyn Jenner's
listen,
views,
I don't. Listen, if that's.
I'm saying like hear the person. Like I would just say this Blair White. I would just say hear them out. What if they have good views and they're powerful and they would actually be able to help the party and help the cause? Like, all right, so they're trans.
But that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I don't give.
Maybe I'm misunderstanding.
Yeah, no. I don't give a shit what you fucking do. I really don't with your body. You do whatever the fuck you want.
Yeah.
I'm just saying when it comes to America First and TPUSA, these guys who are so anti-trans, but then they like the second one trans person was just like, oh yeah, like I'm a conservative, and they were like, fucking ticker tape parade, and it's like, well, you just preached for 5 years against this, and all of a sudden one person agrees with you, and you're like, well, fucking, we got to get that vote.
I don't think you can't be like, I don't think anybody's saying they're anti-gay. Like that's like terrible. Like anti-trans, like you can't do that. That's like anti-white, anti-black. That's like threatening. Like if you say anti-trans, you're like cool with it, right? But then if somebody was like anti-white, you automatically kind of freeze. Now you feel threatened. It's true. Like you do anti-white, and you're like, oh wait, no, I don't like that too much. Well, how do you think the other side feels? I don't know, man.
Well, that's why I also don't.
When it comes to that shit, I just want to hear what that person has to say. I judge by character. I don't give a shit, dude. I've lived too long and have been fucked over by a myriad of fucking people. Wonderful, bright, cunning people.
Well, yeah.
But no,
again,
I'm saying that honestly, I would just say if that person has a good message, I'd rather someone who's trans get it together and get it right for us than like have all these like straight regular white guys fuck everything up.
Yeah, and that's fine. Listen, I don't care what. Like I said again, I don't care what somebody does, and people can have their own views.
Did you just take me off your Christmas list?
No, I don't give a shit. No, I don't care what people do. That's the beautiful thing about
Hanukkah,
this.
Right?
Yes, that's the beautiful thing about this country is that you can do whatever the fuck you want to do and have your own views.
Yeah.
I'm saying, and I don't care what you are. I'm saying when it comes to organizations like TPUSA and fucking America First,
I don't like organizations.
Me neither. You can't preach. You can't preach one thing for 5 years solid, and then the second somebody from the other aisle reaches out for you, you can't just fucking parade them around like they're the best. You have to just stick with that moral consistency. That's my thing. Well, yeah, I personally don't care.
And I say that I'm a man of faith, like, and people are like, oh, you're a hypocrite. It's like, no, I don't like organized religion. I've always said that.
No, I don't either.
I don't like it.
It's evil.
You know, I'm not a Catholic basher and stuff like that. I don't, because I have people like close to me that are Catholic, but I'm not. But am I anti-Catholic? Nah, but I'm pretty, well, put it this way, it doesn't sway me. That's all I need to say. So, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't care. I'm a man of faith.
I don't know. These movements and stuff like that are usually fucked up and stuff. I don't like them. They get violent. They get stupid, and it's just like, then the money disappears that they want, and they're just like, I agree. There's no solution. It's just more fighting. Nobody has a solution though. It's just because they make money off of the fucking division.
Well, the best part is
they're making money selling T-shirts. You know what I mean? They're selling merch for this shit.
It's a grift. It's the ultimate grift. But the best thing is like these groups start splitting apart, and then they have splinter groups and shit like that. It's just fucking weird. I mean, like I said, I don't. Yeah, shit. I just don't care what anybody does. I just don't want to be bothered.
People don't even like. People are just like, oh, Antifa was here. That's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, that was really cool in Italy too. You know. Like they're brown shirts, man. Like that's not good shit, dude. And I'll say that. They're like, oh, you shouldn't say that. It's like they are like, then show me peace. Show me some like non-violent like way of just like communicating. And then I'll respect that. I don't care who you are, where you're from. Like just be cool. That's all it comes down to. Just be fucking decent. I've been pretty open about that shit. I've said it before. I tell you like all the time, like I am like very disgusted with the Chinese government. I have no problem with Chinese people. I have no problem with Asian people. If I criticize like a government of a country, that's what you people have to like separate too. You know, it's like we're in war with like the Nazis. We hate Germans. No, like you don't do that. You know, they're suffering too. Like that shit sucks. You know, like war sucks. It's a government's tool, man. It's not the people. People usually don't want war. They get fucking thrown into it.
Well, look at World War One. Look at Christmas of World War One. They had a fucking. They had a Christmas thing in the fucking middle of no man's land, and they played games. It's fucking weird. They didn't hate
gifts
each other.
To each other and shit.
They didn't hate
they
each
didn't
other.
Want to do this shit. It was a fucking government.
They were just sent
and you know,
out.
like the assassination of
Archduke Ferdinand,
Franz Ferdinand, Sophie. Like that shit was all set up, man. It was all government. Like those guys were looking to move some land. You know what I mean? They were just doing some like shit.
What was the dude's name who killed him? Principep or something like that?
Hmm?
What was the dude's name who killed him? Principep? I forgot his name.
I don't know. Didn't they like fucking? What did they just hang him or something?
Probably shot him.
What happened? They did something. Yeah, he got his mark, man. No. How do you shoot a woman though? That's fucked up. I'm sorry, man. Like I'm just like putting the gun down. That's just, I'm done. Like I just please any of my exes like don't hear this and do it. But like you can't shoot a woman. Like you see it in a movie. It's always the most.
Well, no, James, you can't.
thing.
No, I'm
like,
joking.
No, like it's horrible. Like you just don't shoot a woman. That's why when they had 2 shooters for Kennedy, they didn't shoot Jackie O, is what I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to like elicit any conspiracies here, but wait, what? But I'm just saying they didn't shoot her because she was wearing a nice dress, but they still got brains on it. But I'm just saying there was flaws in the design, you know? I mean,
Oh man. Let's
I think
well,
let's
go on. Nope, go on.
Will you tap
Go
tapping out?
Go on. No, go. Go. I want to hear this.
Come on, man. You know, I took my Friday night, you know, like, cause my phone was buzzing, man. You know how popular I am. And I said, what better way to spend my
I know you could have went to that
Friday
Turkish
night
bathhouse.
than to just ruin what little reputation I have left. You know? So I thought to myself, let's get on here and do this. And we just keep getting more people. And we're thinking, wow, we're doing great. But people are just like, you got to watch these people ruin their, like, if we ever, like, dude, imagine like we like just got like something happened, we got famous, we would just be wrecked. We would just be canceled. Like, really, they'd be like, no.
That's how you,
no.
yeah.
And I'd be like, it would be cool though.
Oh, hell
It'd
yeah.
be cool
Dude.
to be rejected by Hollywood.
Dude, to just have your bank account frozen and shit by the government.
Oh, yeah, dude, to have like Jennifer Lawrence, like kind of like just be like, hey, they're horrible, you know, just like dead eyed and shit, you know, just like
Every time she speaks, she has
awesome,
a flashback of like blowing Harvey Weinstein.
Oh, is that why she's who? I saw something.
No,
with her today, but I wasn't paying attention.
She was in on it with him.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say no. She's actually a really talented actress, but you were like, no,
she put her butthole on the internet.
Did she really?
Yeah, everybody's seen her butthole.
Except me. Always the last one of the party. I guess I'll never have myself.
You're a party
bowl of
pooper.
leather Cheerio. Yeah, a bowl of leather Cheerios. Ew, dude, I don't like the taste of those old copper pennies.
Oh, dude.
I wish I could remember who told me that. But you remember Ron? You know, we always bring up Ron, and I like bringing up his memory anyway. But Ron was like, yeah. He's like, you ever just fuck a girl and you like realize she stinks? And I'm like,
no.
I'm like 15, 16 years old. It's like my first band, you know. I'm like 16 years old. Like mom was driving me there, and I'm like, no, like what little experience I've had, like I'm sure we were both nervous and we showered. Like, what are you doing? And you know, Ron was a lot older. He's like, this is what it smells like. I'm like, stop. He's like, no, this is what it smells like. It smells like if you took a piece of clay, you know that clay you play with in school? I'm like, yeah, ew. He's like, throw it on a frying pan, let it fry for a little bit. I'm like, did you actually do this? It just smells like burnt clay. And I was just like sitting in the car with him. I was just like, you're a fucked up guy. Like,
you were sitting in the car with him and you were trying to hide your boner.
Oh, you know when you just cross your leg because you don't want like the girl to like, no, you kind of like her. You know when you're younger, you're just kind of, you're like, hey, come on in my room. And then I was like, why is he crossing his leg?
I always sit like this. Don't worry about it.
You know, like I do actually like to sit kind of cross-legged with my leg down sometimes. I don't give a shit. I wear a suit most of the time anyway, so it's okay. And that's not a good excuse, but I should get uncrosses. But some people like like an older relative was like, why do you cross your legs like that? You know, like insinuating that it was like gay or effeminate. And I was like, all right, it's comfortable. He's like, what do you have, small nuts or something? I was like, don't talk about my balls. Like, but no.
But it wouldn't be the last time.
Yeah, right. Those family reunions, that's cool. I always say there's some crazy places in out there that you go to like their family reunion and there's like a bowl of condoms in the fucking foyer. I was like,
it's crazy how many
what?
reasons you'll find out why your uncles will fight over you.
It's horrible. No, but seriously, imagine they just tell people like, yeah, I went to a family reunion and they actually had multicolored like condoms with our family name on it.
Yeah, when I
And
went to a
just walk
family
away.
reunion, we all had a lipstick party.
Ew, bro. Like that's too much. That's too much because that's like right to the point. I'm just saying there was condoms in the foyer.
It is right to the point.
It insinuates that we have a large mansion and family that just can't contain it.
Yeah, DuPontish.
Which isn't true though. People like we're just like not going to be invited anywhere anymore.
I'm fine with that.
We aren't.
God, dude. You know what I love? I like when you make plans with somebody and they have to cancel. Oh.
No, you know what, dude? As I get older and now we have nephews, I do like seeing the family. And I visit. I told you I visited mom out of nowhere. Just was like, all right, I'll just go see her. Made her happy. Well, why not? I text her every so often. That's about it.
Yeah,
she's busy and stuff. But at least you just drop in. And then everybody else is busy. As long as they're doing all right, I'm good. But yeah, I'm not very like social. You know that.
No, me neither. I just want to go to work and then come home and that's it.
Yeah, it's basically. I mean, I do music and then I take care of my kids. That's it. My kids and my job, and then I have music, and then I walk for a long time. I walk, so people are probably like that old troubled man.
There he is.
And at first I thought it was really cool because I do music, so I thought they were calling me like old treble man. They're like old trouble.
Some
man.
old jazz musician. I'm old treble man.
Old Pond Top Perkins.
They call me Timothy Treble.
Timothy Treble.
Timothy Trebuchet.
Timothy Treble. Simon Treble. Because then he'd be like, Simon Ferocious.
Simon Ferocious.
That's so great. Fuck Sid Vicious. Murderous, talentless jerk off.
Useless.
People are like, that's not right, man. He's fucking punk. I'm like, he didn't even play on that. That was that Glenn Matlock played the fucking bass on Sex Pistols' Nevermind the Bullocks album.
And now back to VCPR with Maurice Chavez. Useless, talentless asshole.
You're right. He is an asshole. We're assholes, though, right? I mean, we are.
That's what our name means in Gaelic. That's what our name means in Gaelic. It means just like fucking stupid asshole.
Yeah, they were like, whatever you name it, just don't make it cool. Doctor's like, you just had him. You hate him already?
Let's wrap this up because my cat's going fucking nuts at the door. And then I'm going to give you a call right after this.
Is it going to be sexual?
Well, that's the only way I can get off and go to sleep. I'm not going to sleep with high energy. What are you?
That sounds so real. People are like, oh, incest too? Scribble,
incest
scribble.
2, the sequel?
People are just going to be like, yeah, so... And I'm telling you,
I don't know, man.
It's like, we got a client that was like, I saw your name, and I looked you up, and then you were here, and I watched you, and you said so much crazy fucking shit. So I'm going to let you go to Bohemian Grove with us.
Before we go...
I mean, Nixon had some glowing reviews about it.
Yeah. We'll go look up that quote, because I'm not saying it on the air.
I ain't saying it here.
All right, well, that was another episode of Culture Vulture. Before we go, again, I do want to promote the guy who did our overlay,
Mick
Terrell
Jagger.
Foster. You can find him on Instagram under SnowmanZit, all one word. You can also find him on www.redbubble.com/people/snowmanzit. He does 2D, 3D art. He also does overlays and everything else for OBS. He's fantastic, and he's been a huge help to the show so far because I think the new background, obviously, it's more lively.
Yeah, his overlays actually remind me of the early works of Art Vandelay.
You're an idiot.
All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you for...